I thought that was a fitting intro for today, since we're coming on the coattails of Biden's Dark Brandon speech last night.
That music was dope, man. Was that just like stock music, or that?
Yeah, I've got.
I can go listen to.
I've got a like an app that I've got like different stock music and stuff on. I use that to I kind of peruse through that to find different stuff that I try to find stuff that has either like a smooth rhythm to it or something that's got like a good beat that I can set as background music for intros and stuff. So yeah, that was like, just one of them that I stumbled across.
Trekking montage music. That was like if the four of us were on our morning after going to morning after fest and our plane crashed and we had to like walk out of the forest, that'd be the montage music as we're adventuring out of the forest.
Yeah.
Eating berries.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Firefly, and it kind of reminds me of the intro music for Firefly.
I've heard that's an amazing show, and especially like, kind of like I don't know, if it's a person, it might be like a good show in that. Or those like the X-Files, like how slip through the cracks,
Yeah, it was definitely good, definitely underappreciated at its time, and it's gained kind of a cult following over the years, and especially for people like us who are a little more liberty-minded. It has some common themes that align with things we kind of tend to align with. Hey, Clyde is here.
Sean, shut this door. She didn't shut her door all the way.
Okay. Well, maybe he's here. There he is.
I was trying to message you on the Twitter, and it wouldn't send messages. It was just kept hitting enter. I don't know. I'm sorry. Whatever. How you guys doing?
We're good.
You both driving, huh? So am I gonna have to do like a long monologue here when you both hit like shit sections?
Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna try and park up here at some point. I'm almost to MLK, so I'll be to a good safe part of town to park.
Be careful. I feel like those are always dangerous areas.
Say, do you have a gun? Do you have a backup gun? Do you have a machete?
Dude, who are you talking to? Come on. I got the dough on me today too, so I got the extra gun. Oh, fuck. So I had a morning this morning. I go to get in my car to start my day, and the wife's had my car. What I'm about to tell you isn't her fault. This isn't anything having to do with her. I just haven't been with my car for the last few days. It was totally my fault. But I'm, fortunately my tools and shit weren't in the car. I guess is what I'm getting at. But I'm starting to get stuff arranged. I'm like, what is this disgusting sticky shit all over everything in like the back hatch of my car? And I'm going through it, and I'm like, what melted? What the fuck happened? And it fucking hit me as I'm digging through it that I left a quart of Lucas oil in a box back there and forgot to take it out. So like a whole quart of Lucas oil leaked into my hatch area of my car. And so there was a nice white trash display of me screaming fuck at the top of my lungs and throwing shit across my yard as I cleaned it as best I could. Ended up putting a trash bag down over it because I don't know how the fuck to clean Lucas oil out of shit.
What is Lucas? What do you mean Lucas oil?
It's an oil additive that makes your oil like thicker. So like if you have an older vehicle, you'll put some of it in when you change it. So it's like it's like you can take it and put it on your hands and you go like this and it like strings between your hands. It's like, it's the most viscous, sticky shit in the world. Didn't get any tools or nothing. I just don't know how I'm gonna handle that. I'm gonna have to build a new rear platform for my hatch. I don't fucking know.
You have to get
can you clean it with gasoline?
Yeah, fire, lots of it.
Y'all hear my dogs?
Yes. That's all we
actually
can hear is
kids he
your
has
dogs.
locked in the back room. Oh fuck!
Clyde,
happening there? You got
Clyde is
Bandit?
the epitome of professional podcaster. It's always either him banging on his table or kids screaming, dogs. But to get that Lucas Oil stuff out, you've got to either get like a really good industrial degreaser or some of that like the heavy duty Goo Gone stuff, or what is it, Goof Off? Either one of those. But you got to get the heavy duty one. You can't get just like the regular grade one.
Yeah,
I heard
some sort
if
of
you
good
poop on
solvent.
it,
Yeah,
and then,
you
like,
gotta
rub it
pee on it.
in
It's like a jellyfish.
The acid just takes it right off.
Yeah. So fortunately, this panel, it's like carpet covered plastic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that I'll be able to, do something with it. But it was not. It could have been worse.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It just was the top like not on. It just get too hot and explode.
I'd put some in my I'd put some in my car the other day. Some in my and yeah, I guess I left the top off, or the top popped off or came off.
Yeah.
And it fell over. So I gotta pause for 1 second, guys. I'll be right back.
All right. Man, it's like dead for a Friday, huh? What gives?
Well, everybody's cowering in fear because Dark Brandon is coming after the Ultra Magus.
What exactly happened? I saw the pictures, and I heard everybody. He is really like what he's doing is, I don't know, not okay, but it's above and beyond.
It was roughly a 20-minute speech. It was supposed to be like one of these rah, rescue the soul of the nation, we're going to save democracy type speeches. But most of it was railing on what terrible, horrible people anybody who voted for Trump is. And like it was for something that's supposed to be like a unite the nation type of a speech. Unite the nation type of a speech. It was really a whole lot more of a like, let's be as divisive as possible and just completely demonize and alienate an entire half of the country that voted for Donald Trump.
Right. Did he say? Was it just like character attacks, or was it like anything like real, like I don't know.
They talked a lot about the threats to democracy and how they're going to, or how they're subverting democracy and everything, and not going to let your vote be counted, stuff like this. Which it's all they're making references. What he's doing here is he's making references to officials who were elected to election boards, auditor positions, Secretary of State positions in Michigan, Georgia, and Arizona, which were the three big states that were contested as having chicanery go on during the 2020 election. So there were Republicans elected to a whole bunch of election boards, auditor positions, and Secretary of State positions in all of those states, which those are the people who oversee the elections. And then also state legislatures in each of those states shored up their voter ID and other like voting laws to ensure that votes are being counted properly, that people who are voting are supposed to be voting and are allowed to vote. Like there was a lot of stuff to shore up their election process to make it more secure and to so all of these things are subverting democracy. To have people get democratically elected, that's a subversion of democracy. To have democratically elected state legislatures pass laws, that's a subversion of democracy. But like that's the way it gets played off.
Right. Yeah. Were there? Yeah. I gather. Was there any like like when Maxine Waters and Kamala and the bald lady, and when they got out there, like, you got to push back and blah, 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 and more fires. Was there any of that sort of talk?
No, he very specifically condemned Republicans for using that kind of talk. I don't know that I've heard any Republicans use that kind of talk, but I definitely remember all the Democrats using it. And
well, I was curious if he used any of that kind of, because I know they, you know, they use it all the time, and
no, he condemned
Republicans for using it. But.
Yeah, he condemned Republicans using that kind of language. I'm not aware. Maybe I've just missed it, but I'm not aware of any Republicans having called for violence or anything like that. He also talked about how FBI agents are being threatened are being threatened just for doing their job. Like, okay, like good. They should feel threatened.
Interesting. The more I watch this train wreck unfold, the more I'm convinced that like January 6th was like the Reichstag, right? Like you throw a couple of your people in there, and you get these people to create this insurrection, right? And look at all they've harnessed. Like they've made a half the country into some sort of political pariah. Like, you know, like these people are evil. They're knuckle dragging, mouth breathing, low IQ, you know, sister fuckers. Like it's just, you know, like they've demonized like half the country, and it's on purpose, you know?
Oh, absolutely. I think a lot of people who pay attention to this sort of stuff have been saying from the very beginning that like everything about January 6th looked like it was an inside job, that it was instigated by subversive elements who are working in favor of the Democrats and the swamp, effectively. And
that's the thing. It's not even. I wouldn't even say like Democrats, right? Like I wouldn't even go that far and say it's that. I think it's like the
establishment.
The establishment, yeah.
Well, that was another interesting thing some wording or language that Biden used in his speech was he differentiated the MAGA Republicans from mainstream Republicans. I'm like, the fact that you use the word mainstream Republicans, like that doesn't endear those Republicans to, you know, the rest of the country who views the mainstream and the establishment as the enemy. Like you're just saying that they're in your camp. Like we already knew that.
Yeah, I guess he's got to say something to not be like, you know, like the bitch in New York who's like, whatever, get out. You know, like you can't just say I hate all Republicans, right? You got to say no, some of them I'm sure are fine people.
I think we're building up to that. I think you're seeing that in states. I think you're seeing that with, you know, individual senators or Congress people. I think we're getting to the point of, you know, where, I mean, you look at the imagery from last night, like that's not accidental. No imagery on the national stage is accidental. It's all on purpose.
Right.
You know, whether it's Stacey Abrams looking like freaking Sky King there or whatever the hell she was, you know, Star Trek pig monster, or you know, Joe Biden looking like Hitler with, you know, the lights behind him, and that was creepy as hell, man. It looked like some sort of satanic ball, the ritual, or probably little babies in the background.
It looked like a dope ass concert was about to kick off, is what it looked like.
Little Nas X, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Lil Nas X? About to go twerking on somebody's lap.
Dragging Stack across the stage. Yeah.
Well, they had a live band before the show, but it was like the orchestra type stuff. They were playing like older music, not anything that people were gonna.
Joe
like
was out jamming it up.
Yeah. Joe was in the mosh pit with him, and Jill were jumping and jiving.
Hunter's bumping lines.
Well,
Ashley's
like,
out
talking
there
about
decency's in the White House again now. Hold on.
Well, talking about like the New York chick, that's the problem with the whole telling the Republicans to get out of New York is like you're seeing it in both New York and in California. A lot of the Democrats are the ones who are leaving because it is so bad there that they can't stand to live there anymore. Like you've got these like mass exodus from Nevada and California going to Texas because those are such, especially California is such a miserable place to live that nobody wants to be there. But the people who are moving are the Democrats, and so they're going to turn around and go. Democrats are a fucking they're a fucking disease. Like they and they spread just like one. Like everywhere they go, they destroy whatever they touch.
I'm sure Key West is doing good.
That's the thing, though, right? Like, and that's what's the most damning of all this, right? Like, you look at these progressive cities, you look at all these policies where all this stuff, they've put into place, and people aren't moving in. If you look at the overall numbers, they're not moving in; they're moving out.
And the ones who are moving in are the ones who are completely supported by the government. They're the ones that the government puts there. They're not people who are going there by choice. They're going there because they don't have any other choice, and that's where the government is putting them, because the government needs to make it look like this is a functional project and this whole thing is working when it's actually like floundering completely.
See, I feel like there's some educated folks out there that are Democrats, right? Like, I think,
educated. Oh yeah.
Like, so what is it? Like, is it okay, book smart, like, okay, established them, so I can take a test, and they just can't like rationalize like real life situations. They can't understand them, that like these are these policies, these things are what's causing problem X, or like what gives? I just don't get it, man.
Well, I think it's a few things. One, it's a lot of times these people who are professionals are really smart, like they're really educated in one particular topic, but that kind of means that there's not a lot of room in their life for, the rest of reality, I think, which is fine. I mean, I want my heart surgeon to be focused in her life on heart surgery. I don't really give a fuck if she knows economics, but so I think that's part of it. I think that it's just that they're told, when they're going to school, like this is the real like. Some of my friends who are more our age, who have been to college, like they know that it was bullshit. But when I talk to friends of mine who are 10 or 20 years older, who are professionals or went to college, they think so highly of their education that it was infallible, to the point that they aren't even a lot of times willing to listen to me or entertain any of my ideas. You know what I mean? Because fuck, I never passed Algebra 1 in my life. So I'm a fucking idiot. So I think it's some of that, because they are obviously very intelligent in a lot of ways. So it's like, but it's, have they ever, and not to, always bring it back to Austrian economics, have they ever read Austrian economics? Or were they introduced to it a little bit in college and told it's bullshit and Keynes is the way to go, which is probably what happened, so they just, even if they're smart, they just been trained so differently.
Well, and it's the same way with history. Like, they've been given this very specific type of history that they were taught, and anything that strays away from that specific history that they were taught, they just think that's either wrong or bad information or propaganda or whatever. Like, they're unwilling to look at anything that goes against the thing that they have been taught.
Yeah, and they've already been taught that that's what's in, and I mean, I'm sure we've all experienced this, like at some point in life, like your uncle tells you something, this was invented in whatever year, and a few years later somebody says, whatever, this thing was invented in a different year, and you go, no, that's bullshit, and you'll like die on that hill just because that's your truth, because that's what you've thought. Maybe it's because you've told people that fact for years, and now you got to back it up because you realize you've been telling people the wrong shit, but I kind of feel like it's whatever you hear first, people really bite into, it's, I don't know. I also think those people, especially if they're people went to college and succeeded, a lot of times they're really good at just accepting information that's told to them. So even if that information changes, whatever the institution is today, whatever they tell them, that's, who cares that we've already had 12 studies that say that mass masking doesn't stop viral spread. The new study by Fauci that came out 2 months ago says it does. So that's the fucking golden truth now. It's whatever the institution is saying, they're just very susceptible to believing and running with that, I think, for whatever psychological reason.
I don't know. You'd think but like common sense, you would just think common sense, just looking around, looking at this problem. You think that you would like put it together, that maybe this isn't working. Maybe this isn't ideal. I don't know.
Well, you know what? Speaking of looking around and saying,
valid point.
maybe this isn't working and maybe this isn't ideal. Universal health care is something that they're really pushing for with the whole progressive stuff. That's really working super great for Canada. And have you seen all of the reports about so they legalize or
we talked about the assisted suicide bit a while ago.
There's more information that's come out about
right.
it.
So, no, I know. We broached
so,
it. Anybody that listens to this show regularly are, true and faithful listeners. They know
we talked about it when the bill passed, like that they're allowing assisted suicide and euthanasia in Canada. Well, since that went into effect, what many older medical patients are discovering in Canada is that the Canadian universal health care won't cover any of the treatment that they need, and instead they're basically being forced into euthanasia. Like they're given the option of you can we can't cover your treatment.
You die painfully, or you can die with the meds we'll give you. Right. But you're gonna die right now, homie.
We can't cover your treatment, but we can cover your euthanasia. So if you would like to die with dignity, we can get you in touch with a doctor and we can have you, humanely put down.
Now, do you think this is a money thing, or do you think this is like an education thing where the doctors just suck now and like nobody's getting better anyway, so they're trying to like cover the backside of the system, the college system, and just say.
And the way the articles that I've read on it kind of explain it is it's a money thing. The Canadian healthcare system can't afford it, and then what they can't afford, the people who need the treatment also can't afford out of pocket. And so what it's just kind of coming down to is like you have the option of we can help you off yourself, or you can live with pain because we can't do anything else for you. I think one article said that assisted suicide is now the 6th leading cause of death in Canada.
I think I'm starting to love government just for the comedy aspect. Because it's like we were talking about the other day where it's like, government, a solution that nobody's happy with, with the student loan thing, it's like this. It's like, oh, no, we got your health care. But then you come and think, it's like, well, nah, we're not going to replace your liver, but we could kill you. You want to go back there? Well, sorry, man, it's what we got. All right.
It's really... It's interesting. You think about that, right? We like with the whole Roe v. Wade thing, and like I remember seeing like all of a sudden it became abortion is healthcare, right? Killing a baby is healthcare, and now like killing adults is healthcare. Like, how did this definition of healthcare become one that includes like murder?
Man, 18 months ago, you needed to get 4 shots of an experimental vaccine, wear a mask, and don't travel, or you were going to kill grandma. And now it's we're going to help you kill grandma. We'll kill grandma for you. Don't worry about it. We'll make sure that she goes out with dignity.
COVID didn't do enough to get rid of the older population, so they got to do it now this way.
Are we at least making use of the corpses and turning it into Soylent Green? That's all I want to know.
I mean, if we're not doing Soylent Green, at least fertilizer. I know there's a fertilizer shortage, so.
Yeah.
Baby formula, something.
Something.
Circle of life.
Powdered bones. I don't know. I don't know what baby formula is made of exactly. A lot. Sure, it's a lot.
Not babies.
Corn syrup, aborted babies. Yeah. Jeez. Dude, I don't even know, man. Things are just crazy. It's just crazy. It just blows my mind. Some of the stuff that like passes as like acceptable, and the excuses, the rationalization of it all. Like there are people that like buy it and will rationalize it and defend it, and I don't know.
Are we are we like against legalized medical suicide or whatever all around? I say we, like I'm not, but I understand some slippery slope arguments, and I can understand if you're religious and the sanctity of life kind of person. But like, do you guys think that it should be, and we don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but do you guys think it should be like illegal all around, or do you think if somebody's fucking sick and dying and they're like, fucking put me out of my goddamn misery, that should be okay? Or at least not illegal?
I mean, I don't have a problem. Honestly, like if it's drawn up, and you both are in agreement, like I don't really care. Like that's, but I think when you get into this situation where it's there's no money for your universal health care, and the only thing you have left, the only choice you have left is suicide. Like, well, then it's not really suicide, is it?
Right?
I can't help but giggle. It's not funny, but something about this is just so funny to me. It's just like in the hole.
Right. Okay. So like number one, if you want to kill yourself, just quit being a pussy and do it. But number two, if you can't do that and you want to like have somebody help you, then that should be okay. But also, like what Clyde was saying, like it shouldn't be that you, especially in Canada, where like the whole thing is that they're promised healthcare. Like they are promised this universal healthcare, and then what it comes down to is the only healthcare that they're allowed to have is the thing that ends their life. That's kind of the antithesis of what universal healthcare is supposed to be, right? So that, yes, I definitely don't agree with that. But if somebody, voluntarily wants to kill themselves because they would rather go out with dignity and at a point in their life where they still have some semblance of like a normal day-to-day life, as opposed to deteriorating away to nothing and living in pain and agony for who knows how long. Like I get that. And if they can't do it themselves, then it should be okay for them to, like obviously it should be done tactfully. Like you don't want
feeding the polar bears.
38 slug flying through a hotel room wall or a hospital room wall or something.
Right. Like we don't want the 1,000 Faces of Death reenactments going on here.
Let's be real. Like, what dignity do you have living in Canada anyway?
Let's be real. Let's break it down. your big badass fucking government military force and the Mounties? Come on, dude.
No, I mean, you ever seen a horse kick somebody? It hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. I tried to take a feed bucket from a horse one time. Popped me.
You've actually been kicked?
Popped me in the quad. Yeah. It wasn't like he didn't kick me like he wasn't mad at me, kicked me. It was just like, hey, jackass, like don't do that again. I was like limping around with a 2x4 chasing him around, like fucking hit me.
So you didn't get like full on kicked, but he just kind of gave you like a swat.
I think it was a love tap in horse terms. I mean, like I was gimping around for the next 4 days, but
it's too big an animal for me, man.
Yeah, no, that was my thing before we got them. It was just like it just, even cows, like they're not as bad, but an animal that big, you can't.
If it
doesn't want to, yeah, exactly. Like at least a dog, I can like punch it in the face or kick it. I have some, I can pick up anything, a pencil, and stab it in the eyeball, like something. You can't do that with a horse. Like,
well, that's like the question that is it gets asked from time to time, and I like Spike Cohen's answer on this. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 1,000 duck-sized horses? And it's like, obviously you're going to take the duck-sized horses. The little bitty fuckers are easy to kick, whereas like one horse-sized duck, a horse is bad enough to deal with on its own. A duck is also bad enough to deal with on its own. And you're taking two of those and combining it into one? Fuck that.
They got claws, they got teeth, they got a corkscrew penis. Like, I mean, you look out, just kill you.
Like if you've got a duck size or a horse sized duck, you may as well just nuke the planet and move on. Like it's time to move to another planet. This one is lost to us. That this planet now belongs to the duck, and we have to leave. Like, that's it.
The duck-sized horses can just be defeated with a step stool. You
Right.
You just got to get up off the ground a little bit. You're good.
Put a little gasoline on the ground and light it on fire. They can't go anywhere. I mean, they're done.
That's it.
Big one just gonna stand there and look at you funny.
Yeah. What's the other one? Would you Would you rather fight an orangutan with a sword once a year, or what was the other one? Have to fight something every time you got in your car? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, or it was like the possibility of something could attack you at any time, but you wouldn't know or something. It was something like that, right? It was like the orangutan. It was like a planned battle. You'd go in, and the other thing was just something could just attack you randomly, and but I don't remember what it was. I remember that question though.
That's what I heard. Now, that's what I heard.
Orangutans are so sweet. I don't want to have to fight an orangutan.
So in college, I had a friend that did study abroad in Kenya, and they said I think it was baboons. Baboons were vicious, man. They'd come like steal their lunches and stuff, and they'd like their teeth and stuff. Like you couldn't get once they decided to take your lunch, it was like over. It was like just let them take your lunch and be hungry. And I wonder why if that's not part of the reason you have so many like starving Africans. And all the money that you're like donating to buy like a kid a lunch over there, that's just you're feeding baboons, but you don't get like the satisfaction of seeing them actually eat the food that you're giving them. You know,
need old
like
Uncle Ted to design some sack
ducks.
lunches for them baboons.
Seriously.
Did we talk about the?
As long as we're talking about 38 slugs running through hotels, did you guys actually see that video of the guy in the Little Caesars?
Oh yeah,
Justin, I sent it on Twitter, man.
Really? When?
Last night.
Oh, I went to bed early. I did a.
I might have sent it. I might have sent it to the other one.
It smells smoky in here. Like he played it off well. He played it off really well. Because I've often like thought about that. Like, what if I was an idiot and like accidentally like discharged in like a public place like that? You just go, "What the fuck was that?" What the fuck?
He's looking around. Wasn't me.
Yeah, I think it was the guy slamming his car door. Oh fuck! Lucky he didn't shoot himself in the fucking thigh, man.
Dude, well that's what I was expecting, like toes to like be sprayed on the ceiling, bounce up, but no.
You saw him like kick some debris away at one point. He's like nobody was looking. He like kicked some shit away on the floor. I don't know if it was like floor tiles or probably not a shell casing. So it was probably in his pocket.
I was thinking like it was probably tiles, yeah. But that's like how like where did he have it?
Pocket. It looked like he was like fingering it in his pocket.
It was like he just like keeps it in the pocket.
Probably. It's probably a little 22 because it was really quiet. I guess it could have been a 380, but probably a little 22 or something. Fits in the pocket. He was wearing comfy shorts. He's up at fucking Hungry Howie's, so he's already been home. He's taken off his jeans. He's taken off his main carry pistol. All that shit. Fucking wife says, "Go pick up the pizzas." Hops in the car in his comfy shorts. Throws the pocket pistol in his pocket, goes up to get pizza. That sounds like a very likely scenario.
I guess I'm just not comfortable enough to put something loaded in my pocket like that.
So a couple things, like the ones that like I tend to keep on me, they are like really like geared for safety. Like my the 9 that I tend to have. It sits at it's basically like half cocked, so it's a long, heavy trigger pull to get that fucking round to go. So really, you can't drop it. It's not going to go off from dropping because the hammer isn't all the way back like a single action. So, like I've dropped it down a flight of stairs before, like, ooh, every bounce, the thing's all beat up. So, I know I'm a klutzy stoner and I don't carry a 1911 for a reason. I don't carry a single action pistol for a reason. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to shoot my dick off. For sure. But yeah, that's why you got to be careful with what you carry. And
I
keep the safety on.
Wouldn't trust myself, I guess.
That's why you want one of those. That's why you want one of those handy little holsters that you can just like slip it right into your waistband. Like you don't have to. That's what I've got for. That's what I've got for the 380. It's very convenient. I can just slip it right in my waistband if I'm going somewhere real quick or whatever.
For us skinny dudes, it's what you got to wear unless you're in like an open carry place, because otherwise it's just obvious,
How do like? I would think that being like morbidly obese would like make it very difficult to carry, like to get things out.
they tend to draw crosswise instead of drawing from the same side.
Yeah.
They tend to carry on the opposite side. At least that's what I've been my experience. For somehow that makes it easier.
Justin, I dropped it in the private chat there.
I saw. I'm on my phone, so I can't pull it up.
No, that's fine. I just for your viewing pleasure later. It was classy video.
So I carry in the small on my back, like that's where it works best for me. Just with the way I'm built.
Yeah, I do behind me. I used to do it further towards like the center, and maybe even turn the other way. I don't know. Anyhow, it's on the back on the right here. Tends to work all right.
Yeah, that's where I carry too, like right there on the back, just to the right side of the spine.
It fucks me up like I'm sitting on a wall.
5 o'clock. Like 5 o'clock.
Yeah, like that,
about that.
Okay. See, if I get back far, if I do like 4, 3, 4, 3 is usually sometimes 4, but I get back by like 5 and it just keeps hanging up on my shirt. And I don't like that.
If I'm wearing my revolver and my outside the pants holster, like cowboy style, I've got like a pistol belt for that, so that's around the farm. Then it hangs like right on my 3 o'clock typically.
Do you have an ammo belt that goes with it, like shoulder?
No, but that'd be pretty cool. God damn it. I mean, unless I'm attacked by 1,000 duck-sized horses, I shouldn't need to carry that much ammo on me at any given time. But I have been fighting a rat.
I'm not planning on changing out the clip in any like experience that I might have carrying out in public. If I'm having to change out the clip, holy fuck, why am I here?
Well, some dudes I'm not like shitting on people who do this, but some dudes they carry their pistol and they carry an extra magazine or two. And which is great, but what I hate is when those dudes say to you, if you're not carrying at least 2 extra magazines, you might as well not be carrying because the average gunfight is this blah blah. And I'm like, I'm not planning on getting in a gunfight. If anything happens, I'm planning on firing off one shot and hope everybody scatters because that's typically what goes down in like a robbery situation or a self-defense situation. Yeah. Something happens, you go pop pop, and everybody runs, and that's what I'm banking on. I don't want to get in a shootout. That sounds terrifying. I played paintball. Paintball is terrifying enough. It feels real. I can imagine a real bullet.
I have the logistics of my house and our little homestead set up for the gunfight. I'm not expecting that out in public. Like I'm staying away from places that might involve me getting in a full-on gunfight.
Yeah, and there I've got 25 rounds in the gun by the bed. You know what I mean? Like I'm ready then. But no, I carry a little single stack. Because it's got to be comfortable. If it's not comfortable, I won't carry it. You need at least 19 rounds. No, I'm cool with the 7. I'll live. Hopefully. But if it's bigger, I won't carry it. So
my 45 has 13, and it's a heavy gun, but
yeah, that's chunky.
But I can carry it comfortably too. Like it fits me well. That's part of why I got it because it does fit me well. Like I can carry it.
What was it? I wasn't listening.
It's a 45. Huge. Yeah, it's a 45. I mean, I carry it at about 4 o'clock because it's more comfortable there. But I mean, again, I'm not planning on getting into a gunfight with that thing. Like,
no.
I mean, I've had instances. I was at an ATM once, and some dude was, "Oh, hey man, let me ask you something." Walking up to me, and I don't even think I had a pistol on me, but I just stepped my right foot back and turned to the side a little bit. And sort of put my hand down by my hip, and I was like, "Hey man, you step away." And he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" He laughed. So that's the thing. Just having the fucking thing usually I think is enough to keep you from having to use it. To be honest, or you're just pretending like you have one. But so yeah, ideally, yeah. Because I mean, like, and you talk to the people, they're like, "Oh man, there's a fucking," and I mean, hey, God bless the dude in the mall, who stopped that shooting. Like fucking. Hell yeah, like I'm not, but like people are like, I'd take that mother and blah blah blah, and I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to be no fucking hero in some situation. I don't trust my skills that much. Like my goal, get me and my party the fuck out of the situation, and unless somebody comes between me and the exit, hopefully I don't have to use the fucking gun. Hopefully someone who carries a better gun and is a lot more skilled at it than me will be there to take the dude out.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I guess. In the event, I'm prepared to do what I need to do, but I would prefer not to be in that situation and not to have to do that.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Like, I mean, I think I'm mentally prepared, but like, fuck, man, if I actually get in a situation, it's like, it'd be if you have like your wife and kids with you, it's probably much easier to pull that fucking thing out and use it. You know what I mean? Than if you're by yourself or whatever. You know, I don't know. It's tough. I'm not a confrontational person, you know, typically anyhow. So, but
Steven
I'm not about to get my
says
ass kicked, so.
Yeah, Steven says the Bursa Thunder 380 is a great pocket gun. That's what I've got for our 380. That I got it for my wife because it's the perfect size and she can actually handle it and use it. It is a really good gun for just especially for a wife. Like it's a
it jams up enough she can't shoot you.
Not to be sexist, but it's a good gun for a female. Like it's small enough that it fits their hand right. And it's not hard to draw. Like it's good.
I got two of them a couple years ago. One of them was gonna be for her. One of them was a little Ruger 22 pocket pistol, which I fucking love. And the other one was a 38 special, you know, hammerless revolver, you know, Smith & Wesson, which I fucking love for a carry gun. And yeah, the automatic was not. She's like, nope, it's too much. It's buttons and slides and clearing jams and this and that. And the other one doesn't have a safety on it. You can fire from inside a purse. You know, there's no hammer, there's no slide to jam. It's just fucking easy. Yep. Fucking jam it in their stomach and squeeze the trigger. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, dude, you want fucking simplicity, and especially like for a wife, or not even necessarily just a wife, but a dude who maybe doesn't train a lot, you know, or doesn't want to, you know, doesn't.
Yeah,
you know,
I'd be afraid to pull it on me if it's that easy. Like, you know.
She's pretty
a little difficulty there. You got to ask me how to use it first. You know?
I got to give you my key to it. You know, it's like a submarine. Yeah. We both gotta agree. Oh fuck!
What was our other show topics for today? We've talked a lot about guns instead of the stuff that I had said we were going to talk about, which I'm happy about. I enjoyed gun talk.
Did you?
I'm going shooting tomorrow. I'm gun horny.
What?
What'd you say, Clyde?
I don't think you told us what the show topics were going to be.
Well, I said it in Signal, but
you actually listed them.
Somebody.
Oh, I'm not in the Signal group anymore, so you can.
I told you I would re-add you, and you said something about no, you were going to get it taken care of. So, have you gotten it taken care of?
I'm working on it. I'm working on it this morning.
Oh, so yeah, daylight and $1 short as usual.
Well, I was getting it together last night when I got the new SIM card, and I took the old one out, and my kid, I guess, took it and flushed it down the toilet. He said, I don't know, it disappeared, and I can't find it anywhere. I'm also missing a headlamp. I'm missing an old phone that is broken, but you know, it still kind of works, and I have it just in case, whatever. That's missing.
Poor phone, yeah.
What are you doing to these poor kids that they hate you so much that they just steal all your shit and flush it down the toilet?
It's just the one. I don't know, man. I don't know.
That little wild boy.
Dude. Oh. I know. Something else.
Some of them are.
It is draft day.
It is fucking draft day.
I'm pretty sure I'm just going to set it to auto draft and not show up.
We're doing serious. We're doing a whole event. I'm going to force my wife to be on the show to do this draft. You have to show up.
Take my place.
No, she's part of the draft. She has her own place.
I have no idea. Look. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing.
We're all going to be giving you pointers.
Yeah. I trust your pointers. I trust your pointers.
I already gave you the best advice you're going to get for the whole draft. Do not touch the Washington backfield, whatever you do. If it's RB, WASH, do not touch that motherfucker. Just ignore them. Avoid them like the plague. Do not draft any Washington running backs. That is.
So why would you draft anybody from Washington anyway? Like, they suck. It's like, right? Somebody from the Browns, like, it's just garbage. Like, why would you do that?
Exactly.
Right?
See?
Okay. Yeah, but
you're already off to a good start. You have at least the minimum basic common sense to know if a team sucks, their players are probably going to suck, and you probably don't want to draft them.
How long is this going to take?
If everybody picks relatively quickly, an hour and a half. Maybe.
That's a lot of time at 8:30, man.
It's the same time we do all the other night shows, and we go like 2.5 hours on those.
I know, but like
this will be like half that time. and we're gonna talk shit, and I'm gonna play like highlight reels and blooper videos, and I've got like
gonna take longer.
I've got like a big hit reel of like, no, I'm gonna run those like intros and it breaks and stuff.
Sure.
It won't. It's not gonna add any time to it.
We'll see. Maybe I'll set it to auto draft and then show up at like 9 o'clock. Can I take it off auto draft once I start it?
Yes.
Okay.
You can set it to. You can come make your first 2 picks, set it to auto draft, talk shit while it drafts on its own, and then if at some point you see it's trying to do something you don't like, then you can take it off auto draft and make your own
Well, the
picks.
point is, I have other things to do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
We know you don't have a life. You've told us this. You told us this on the last show. Oh wow! You can't lie to me.
It's very, very it's booming. My life is booming every day. I have so many things to do. So many fun, exciting things to do.
Fucking slaying it.
Draft the entire Lions offense. That's what you need to do. You will win every week except for the bye week.
I've done enough like pick'em stuff to like know that when I'm being taken advantage of, but like actual individual people, I have no clue. Everybody I know is either dead or retired.
Well, draft all of them, and we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe Fred Flutie will come back.
I have to imagine that if I tried to draft like Bebe Thomas, they wouldn't let me, right? Like, pretty sure that would just not fly. He's not on the list.
Yeah, I checked. Like Gronkowski isn't even on the list, so they won't. Doesn't look like they're.
Is Brady on there?
I don't know. I didn't look at that. It's not like I want Brady.
Brady's still playing, so yes,
he's
on the list.
Is he?
Yeah. Yes.
I thought he retired.
Is Gronk really not on the list? Usually if somebody
No, he's not.
Usually if somebody just retired, they'll still leave them on the free agent list. So in case they come out of retirement, like if they've been retired for a few years, then they'll remove them. But usually if it's like the first year after they retired.
On the ESPN thing, I was playing with the other day. It wasn't on there.
So who's Brady playing for? Is he still with Tampa?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. I thought he retired.
No, that was
did, right?
I think that was a fake headline that Brady was retiring. There was also one that ran at the end of the season that said LeBron James was retiring. I don't think he retired either.
Yeah, I heard that like he sold, like somebody paid like $200,000 for his final game ball, and then he unretired. Like, hey, what the fuck?
I don't know, man. Football's stupid. I just don't like. I don't know.
I do a bunch of dudes in tights running around touching each other. Nothing gay about that.
I'm gonna take my
Niall the other day. I was like, there's no point in me making any jokes about the center or, slapping each other on the ass or tight ends or, backfield or anything like that. Those have all already been made. And he's like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'll just.
Yeah, but that's like the. I mean, I don't know.
See, now you have to make Deshaun Watson jokes because of all the women that he's abused, and let's see, there are other jokes to be made.
Oh man, he was third on my list. He just went up to first. All right.
Well, you should probably put him somewhere towards the bottom because I think he's out until at least week 11.
Oh shit.
How
that's one thing I need to do. I need to look up, like, there's got to be a list of like injured, do not draft players, right? I got to compare that to my list.
We will all give you pointers throughout it. We won't let you draft somebody completely stupid. Like
I've seen the league. Bullshit. You guys don't encourage it.
That's why I don't trust any of these clowns.
Probably wise. You can trust me though, Clyde.
I don't know. See, even that I don't know. I just don't trust it.
I'm not a deceitful kind of person.
Carson Wentz is never injured. You should definitely take him as your
See, I know enough. I know enough of that. I've listened to enough the Lions Liberty degenerate gamblers there to know, some of the stuff. But
see, Clyde's the sleeper on the league. He listens to degenerate gamblers all the time, so he knows what's going on. And he's he's like he's gaming us here. He's playing
how many
dumb.
people?
I mean, I used to pay attention to degenerate gamblers, and there was a dude on there a couple years back who just slayed it. Oh man, what was his name? I cannot recall. I don't think he's around anymore. Some hippie guy. No? Okay.
I won a couple of years ago. But...
Yeah, I know. That's what I was trying to get at.
Oh, so you do
forget-
know what you're doing.
I forget Justin's new to the Liberty podcasting game.
Yeah. I just happened to fall into this shit like on accident, and then I hit the ground running full speed. Yeah, I'm very new to all of this.
How many people can you pick, and then how many spots are there on a team?
It's either
16 people on this. There's 16 people. 9 people will be on the field, quote unquote, at any given time. And then you have 7 bench players.
Okay, so
I believe it's what I read.
If you get a couple like duds, you can kind of rotate them out. All right.
Yeah, you have one flex position or whatever, one person you put in to flex.
And
Niall yelled at me for 10 minutes about flex position.
So is that like who does the best like dance at the end, or like what is that?
The flex, yeah. It's who has the biggest muscles.
Yeah. Okay. Who you invite to the gun show, if you catch my drift.
Yes, there's a free agent list. Like you should.
See, like I'm not making lists of anybody. Players, I'm not doing any of that. So it's just kind of like
if you have a player who sucks, you can either leave them on your bench or you can drop them and try to find somebody who doesn't suck as bad.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
And every year there's going to be like somebody gets hurt, and then you have somebody that takes their place and is going to be really good. You never really know who it is, but it happens every year. And so you might get lucky and like you've got somebody that really sucks and you see, hey, this guy had a great week last week. I'll go pick him up. And then he ends up being like a stud for the season.
So, okay. So if there's somebody that doesn't get drafted, you can go pick them up. Like you can draft and pick up. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, how do the points work?
I don't remember.
Go on the league page and go to settings, like league settings, and it'll show all that shit. It'll show how it's set up for the scoring. It'll show the amount of players. I kept like asking Justin all these stupid questions while I was getting it figured out. And then I realized like, oh wait, there's a page here that answers all this. But it's shit like every 25 yards of passing or running is a point and stuff like that. It's shit like that. So it's just
touchdowns are worth so many points. You get so many points per yard, basically. It's all the different stats. The same like the defense. If you pick the team defense that you pick, if they get interceptions or fumble recoveries, you get points. You could also potentially lose points if they give up too many points. Kickers, you get a different number of points per kick. Like if they kick an extra point, it's worth 1 point. If they kick a field goal from like 50 yards, it might be worth 4 points. Like there's different.
Is there an option? Is there a category for like off-field shenanigans?
Unfortunately, no. But there are. You can get on some like betting websites. There are prop bets every week. Like some of those are fun and interesting. You might make some money off of that because you're definitely not going to make any money off of this. You're definitely not going to make any money off of this league, but.
Are you donating coffee to the winner, Clyde?
I didn't even know there was what?
Am I the only one donating something?
What are we
trying to build up a prize? We're trying to build up a prize pool here. If anybody wants to, I guess we can always petition other business owners. Hey, come sponsor our league. Donate a thing. Because we need to come up with a prize for the winner, and we need to come up with some sort of anti-prize.
For the punishment for the loser.
That's the word, yeah. For the loser. Yeah. So obviously we can come up. We have a few weeks at least. We don't want to get too far into the league before we come up with that stuff. But it's not like we have to come up with that right now.
Steven said if Clyde's not going to donate coffee to the winner, then he will.
Sweet.
When does it start? When do games start?
Next weekend.
Okay.
Or Thursday. Next Thursday, I guess it is.
Sweet.
Oh God.
I hate trying to pull up comments on my damn phone.
You could have put me in charge.
You flip flop.
Could have given me the controls.
It doesn't work on the side scroller over here. I have to like flip the phone up and get it on the bottom, and then it works right.
You won't even address it, huh?
And you know what's really weird is it's the exact same spot on the screen of the phone. Like it's either down here or it's right here, but it's the exact same part of the phone. But for some reason, when it's turned this way, it won't let me push it. But if it's turned the other way, it will. Fucking dumbass iPhone. I blame Steve Jobs. Hope he rots in hell.
Wow. Classy.
I've never owned an Apple product.
Yeah. Speaking of hell, while we've got like 3 minutes to go, that's where you're going to be living as soon as they take over your thermostat and don't let you turn your air on anymore. That was one of the topics I wanted to talk about. Did y'all see that? People were going to turn down their thermostats and finding out that they, right? I think that's right. Finding out that they didn't have any control over their thermostat, that it was being set by somebody else and they couldn't turn their air up.
It was God, I remember seeing I saw the message that they got on their thing. It said like, it was basically due to like, I don't know, heat wave or like blackout energy, like, needing to direct that. It was like, we're not going to do this right now. This is where it's set. It's like, man.
Like, so on the one hand, like, and especially for the future, for like if we're going to upgrade our power infrastructure in this country, which obviously we need to, like things are going to have to be like more connected, like smarter grids, et cetera, et cetera. So in a situation where you have something like, and that's one of the reasons that like integrating green energy is really tough because it can be unpredictable. Anyhow, it's like, okay, if they're going to have this smart grid and let's say they have to set thermostats, otherwise all the power is going to get shut down. Okay, but like that's a big black mark on your company every time you do something like that, right? You're obviously not doing your job right of providing enough power. Now if there's some sort of natural disaster or some shit, okay, whatever. But like, I don't know, man. Like, again, I say this all the time, or I've said it a few times, like, it's been hot as fuck this summer and we haven't lost power. How come our power company can give us enough fucking power? And all these other power companies in places like fucking Colorado and California just can't do their fucking job of providing power, I don't know. Maybe I just live in a cool place. I don't fucking know. But like, it's like we have a good power company. It's a co-op. First off, a power company. It's not government owned. It's a co-op. So that's awesome. And it just works.
That's what we have too.
Yeah. Well,
co-ops. I wonder if it's
quite as good luck, but yeah.
Well, that's like Magoo says. How you like your smart home now? Like get the Alexa and Siri and Google Assistant, like get that shit out of your house. Otherwise, somebody's gonna be running your house that's not you at some point in the very near future.
If you want that kind of life, you're gonna have to give up some shit. You know what I mean? I prefer to have a not smart home and a generator. So fuck y'all. If you want to shut off my AC or my power, I'm cranking my AC anyhow.
The kids, their mom got Alexa in their house. Or in her house, and they were all excited about it when she first got it, and they were like, "Oh, we've got it on our phones." Da, 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 da. I was like, "Turn that shit off whenever you're at my house or in my truck." I was like, do not have that on. I was like, they're like, "Why?" I said, "Because it's always listening." And they go, "No, it's not. It's only listening if you say, 'Hey, Alexa.'" And so I looked at my daughter and I said, "Sean really stinks. Is there something wrong with him?" And he got all offended. He was like, "Oh, Dad." I said, "I didn't say, 'Hey, Sean, you can't hear me.'" And then it dawned on them how it works. And they immediately took their phones out and turned it off. I was like, see, like, don't be a dumbass. That thing is always listening.
Yeah. I mean, even your phone is really, like everything is. But I think when you start putting that stuff in, it's an easier access port for them to kind of jack with your stuff,
Yeah, when when you're voluntarily putting it in, it takes away any clandestineness. It takes away any like chance that if they get caught, it's going to be a thing. It's like, yeah, you put it in your fucking house, dude. That's the point of it. It listens to you. You yell at it. Like it's duh.
Yeah.
I think it's tempting. My mom has one, and we'll be over there. She'll be like, "Turn down the volume 4%." And I'm like, it's kind of cool. Like, but I even think like I want to do a better like video security system at my house. Something I can like monitor when I'm not home. But it's like I don't know enough about that shit that I'd be afraid that whatever company or whatever I go with is some selling my shit to China. Not I give a fuck about China, but you know what I mean? Like it would somehow be not secure. There's this book I was listening to. They were talking about, oh yeah, you can look up like the brand of a camera, And just using Google, you can find all the people who have that camera and didn't set the network settings to private. And you can just, on Google, access their shit. And the guy's like, yeah, I saw cameras. I saw a view of some dude watching his pot plants grow. Like the guy had cameras on his weed plant so he could check on them, I guess, remotely. And he didn't set the thing to private. So anybody could just fucking log in and look at it. You know, it's allegedly not that hard to look into and to do, you know. So, but I'm the boomer who would not set some setting like that, and then everyone's watching like my wife change clothes or something, you know. Like, oh fuck. I would say me, but nobody wants to see that. So,
and if you're gonna have something like that on the internet, you should at least start an OnlyFans and get paid for it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. You want to pay me to see my butthole? Let's talk. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think anybody's that retarded.
I hope not.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.